What's up, MeetEdgar community? Have you heard the news today that we've relaunched our Pinterest integration? So if you are a marketer out there looking to grow your traffic to your site, Pinterest is actually one of the best platforms to do this on because it actually functions more as a search engine than a lot of other social media networks out there. This means that your content can actually be found months down the road by people searching for that key topic. This is the real power behind having an evergreen strategy with your blog content, with your podcast, with anything you're putting out there to make sure the work that you did months ago is still leading traffic to your site and working for you. So with the MeetEdgar Pinterest integration, we're going to go over a few ways that you can use it, and I'm going to give you a tour around it today. But I also want to let you know, if you are brand new and you do not have a MeetEdgar account yet, and you're looking for a Pinterest scheduling tool, we're actually giving a lifetime giveaway subscription to MeetEdgar in celebration of becoming a Pinterest marketing partner. There's actually a link in the description of this video that you can go ahead and click, and that will take you to our blog where you can enter the giveaway. So check out that link. Even if you are a MeetEdgar subscriber, still go ahead and go to that link because it'll take you to our blog post. And this is going to go over basically like how to use Pinterest. But the coolest thing here, if you're already a MeetEdgar subscriber, is this right here will take you to our Pinterest starter pack. And this is completely free for anyone. It'll just take you to like our Google Drive section where you can download 4 different templates here that all have some really great kind of beginner how to get Pinterest set up to more advanced how to create really great pins and make sure you're varying the media on those pins to grab people's attention and really stand out on Pinterest. So you can enter the giveaway, of course, as you can see here, if you're not a MeetEdgar subscriber yet, or be sure to download that Pinterest pack if you're looking for some inspiration. But let's get to the tour around how you can actually use MeetEdgar and Pinterest. So when you come to your account here, you're going to go ahead and click to add content. Duh, of course, you need to go ahead and do this composer screen. So once you get to the composer, you're going to go ahead and, as usual, select a category. You can make a Pinterest specific category if you want to like use different language and start to schedule things at different times for Pinterest. Or of course, you can go ahead and use one of your existing categories. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and put this in my blog post pins because we're going to be looking at how to add a blog post here. Next, you're going to, of course, go ahead and check off Pinterest. So when you check off Pinterest, this is a little bit different than if you're adding content to any of the other networks. You'll notice the minute you put the Pinterest permission right here, you have this select board option. So these are all of your Pinterest boards, and this has to be filled out in order to save the post to the MeetEdgar library. So I'm going to put this on my blog post board here. Then you're going to go ahead and write in the description field. So this is the description of your pin. And this part here, when you go ahead and put a blog post URL in here, so you'll notice if I put a URL in here, this URL automatically gets added to this section down here. Now, what this section is, if I remove this URL, once this is filled out, you can just have text here saying like, check out our new post, and then write the description of what that post is about to give a little curiosity teaser there. And then this section that you notice the blog link automatically gets added to, this is the destination link. So you always need to have this filled out. So even if you're doing like a tip graphic or a quote graphic, but you want that graphic to actually drive traffic, you can go ahead and put a link to wherever you want that traffic to drive in this destination link section. The content box above it that says pin title, this is going to be that larger text that appears with your pin. So this doesn't have to be filled out. We definitely recommend that you fill it out because this will allow you to test different headlines. You can use MeetEdgar's variation feature to do this, which we'll look at in a bit. But this pin title, if you leave it blank, what's going to happen is Pinterest will automatically pull the title from whatever you have in the metadata of your blog post for the OG title tag. So if you have an OG title tag that you just want to use and you don't want to bother putting in your own title, totally fine to leave that blank. But definitely make sure to fill out the text box up here for the description and add a little bit of a curiosity teaser and some of that content in there. definitely make sure you have a destination link. And of course, for Pinterest, you need an image. Now, a lot of people suggest while making images, especially for blog posts on Pinterest, that you do text overlay on images because it is such a graphic platform. When people are scrolling through and they just see a graphic with no text on it, sometimes it can be hard for them to tell if they want to click through and actually consume that content. So we always suggest, testing different things like going into Canva and putting some title text overlaying a graphic and then uploading that into MeetEdgar. If you do that, super simple process. You're just going to go ahead and click on this icon to upload the graphic from your computer. So after you download it from your image program, you'll upload it to MeetEdgar. You can upload videos as well. Videos on Pinterest are pretty cool. And it's actually a feature that they're pushing these days is something that they want to see people use more. So whenever a social media network is really wanting people to use a feature, it's probably a good one to use because they're prioritizing that in their algorithm. Pinterest videos, they recommend a minimum of at least 4 seconds and a maximum is going to be 15 minutes. So if you wanted to record a video talking about what's in that blog post, or if you have a cool video that you've made elsewhere, feel free to test that out as the graphic going to Pinterest. The last way you can add the graphic, you'll notice if you have a URL, you have our suggested images feature. So these are all being scraped from the blog post, and all you have to do is click add, and that will now be a graphic for you. So as a reminder, the biggest difference for adding Pinterest content to MeetEdgar versus the other networks is you need to make sure you select your board. And you need to make sure that you always add a destination link, a graphic, and of course, a title, especially if there is not a title included in the OG title tag. Once you're happy with how this looks, you can save it to your MeetEdgar library. Scheduling works the same way as scheduling does for the other content. On your weekly repeating schedule for MeetEdgar, you're just going to make sure that your categories, like for my Pinterest blog category, has the Pinterest connection and it's saved as a time slot. These will work in that last in, first out rotation. And as I mentioned, evergreen content on Pinterest is awesome. Pinterest also has something interesting in the fact that they always prioritize new graphics as new content. So even if you are sharing the same blog link onto Pinterest multiple times, which is our evergreen strategy here at MeetEdgar that we believe in, you want to make sure that you're changing the graphic each time you're sharing it. And that's a signal to Pinterest that it's new content. So in order to do this, you're actually going to use our variations feature. So same deal when you're adding content and you're checking off what board you'd like it to go to and adding in your destination link, your pin title, your graphic here. Once you have it set up for the first variation, scroll down and you'll notice you have this manually add variation or suggested variations feature. So if I add a variation here, it's going to check off a second text box where I can enter the description again. You'll notice that the destination link already copies down into the destination link text box here. Of course, you want to A/B test titles as much as you can to give people the opportunity to see different language. You never know what's going to resonate with someone on the right day at the right time. So definitely test out different headlines here when you can. And then you're going to attach a different media variation. So this time, if I wanted to add in a different suggested image, I could do that. Or as I mentioned, you could test adding in a different graphic you made in Canva or a different video, stuff like that. So super duper exciting for you to be able to test different integrations there. So make sure you give Pinterest a try. And if you're not a MeetEdgar user yet, like I mentioned, go ahead and enter that lifetime subscription so you can try it out. If you are a MeetEdgar user, definitely still click the link in the description here and you can go ahead and download those Pinterest packets that we created for you guys to set yourself up for success. We can't wait to see you guys start pinning on Pinterest and driving more traffic from another social media marketing network. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you have any questions at all about the new feature, go ahead and email support@meetedgar.com.